Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Good afternoon. We'll try to be quite fast. We know you're tired, okay? So we just came here, we were asked to come here just to explain the experience of our high school, okay? So we will present and we will explain what we do nowadays and the changes that there have been in our high school, okay? Well, we are a kind of new high school in Barcelona. We passed through a lot of changes. We had a different name 3 years ago, and we didn't know if our high school was going to close or not. And after many efforts of the administration and the staff, we could move on, and we have now a new secondary project, okay, which is the one we will present you. Well, we are located in the city center near Sagrada Familia, and the studies that we have are secondary school studies, post-compulsory studies, and then also professional studies. We want to present you the secondary project that we are working with, which is based on a project, a task-based methodology, in which the main core is the artistic branch, okay, and it's based on competential work and on cross-curricularity.
Okay. Hello. We have built during those 3 years a corpus of structures and methodologies that had changed gradually, but working on those slides, we have seen that the core objectives were set at the beginning of the process and still remain our main guide. As you can see, we have developed a series of relationships with cultural institutions in Barcelona. As we were starting the project almost from scratch, we wanted to take advantage of their knowledge and also to have an external point of view. I think Mark before talked about surveillance. We didn't want surveillance, but to have an external point of view is very interesting. You want to show something, and the students also know that their stuff is going to be seen, and this is going to be weight. We use, for instance, I teach the post-compulsory education, I teach art and design, and I'm building a relationship with a new fantastic public library in our neighborhood, and I use their commissions in order to make logotypes and graphic stuff for them. So we have to solve a problem. The pupils are not waiting for marks or any kind of numbers, but they have to solve a real problem. We also have a very good relationship with the Mario Foundation, the Art Mario Foundation, and this is the second photography. When we go there, our pupils can have meetings with artists and also with curators. And that's amazing because we don't go there just to see an exhibition. But our main bond is with the MACBA Museum of Contemporary Art. This is our 3rd year of collaboration and the second as a magnet school. We think that magnet schools are great. It gives us a lot of visibility, and we need that. But now we think that we could handle the collaborative relation without them. We now know that the cultural institutions of Barcelona are eager to work with active schools. Before we thought that we were the lucky ones, but now I know that they are the lucky ones. We have here a diagram, but that I will dramatize the diagram, no problem. At the beginning of the project, we make some study between the subjects to study the common ground between the different subjects, and we saw that there was a lot of... Sorry?
No, just like that.
Okay. we saw that we had a lot in common in the visual arts, because I teach arts, with the different subjects. We set in an outer circle the different subjects like math, science, languages, and at the center we studied the 4 focus of visual arts, which are design, the moving image, and the visual languages, and also the art itself. No? Maybe in other schools could use maths or science or languages to start as a focus, but cross-curricularity gives us a common ground to, for instance, study maths through the point of view of an art installation, which is what we are doing now in the 3rd course of the secondary education. When we started the project, the hardware at our school was totally out of date, and we didn't have even a database. So we had something that has to be cheap, and that could be used 24 hours a day. We use internet, and especially Google Drive, to begin to work with any kind of documents like spreadsheet, forms, art galleries, etc. Not just the students, but also the teachers. We also use the blogs, the Moodle, and some professional software, free licenses from Adobe. And finally, we publish all the results through our web and the social media. This is a strategy for us, not just because of the advertisement, but because we have to give a kind of feedback to the families that are involved in our project, also our pupils. And we need also to arrive to the future pupils and families that will study in our school. We have some very good students coming from 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers, and they know they come here because they have seen what we do there, what the students do.
Okay, well, at the beginning I forgot to say that we are a state school, so the budget that we have is the one that we have. And I remember the idea that was previously said that with less we do more. So that's a bit the point, okay, of our way of working. Now you will see some pictures taken from moments and activities from our high school, okay? You can see different kind of situations. This one was part of the project, first of secondary education project. You see that the students are like sticking some cardboards. This is Moisés Brogi, the image of the person, the doctor who gave the name to our school. Then you can see a picture of students like shooting a cinema take, and then you've got another picture of another student, like it seems he's explaining something. Okay, this picture summarizes a bit the essential part of our project, which is foster the rigor and in all the phases of education. We like our students to be aware of their own process of learning. It has been previously said. But we think that they must be the active role in this process. Otherwise, they will not get involved and they won't be aware of what they are really learning. At the same time, we register all the phases. As Paco said, we take pictures, well, the students, they do everything. They are in charge of taking pictures, of recording, of then presenting all these projects in front of parents, teachers, people from institutions, like with 200 people in front of them. This is one of the aspects we like more to work on, which is developing their oral skills and what they will face in life when they finish high school. So at the end, we want them to understand what they're doing. The fact of globalizing knowledge is also important for us. And then the important thing is that they relate the contents that in each subject involved in the project has. Right, these are other examples, okay, of situations in the high school. Competential work is the basis of our methodology. You see that one of the things we like doing is to take the students out of the classroom. If you see, there's no picture inside an ordinary classroom. We've got the ICT, the computers room, the theater that we have in our high school. That was taken in the garden, okay? And the other one was in a classical classroom, but the students are like sitting down on the floor and manipulating the material. So what we also like, or what we also foster in this project-based methodology is that we want students to take decisions. It's not the teacher who says, explains what they are going to do. We let them think and we let them take decisions. And we want them to know how to do and to know how to be, and again, to know how to become as well. So the teacher is a guide, and we like to foster the students' autonomy. Right, so this is one of the results of one of the projects in our high school, okay? We chose this picture because we think it represents a little bit the essence of what we are doing. You see different pictures of students, but they are all inside. This was a Christmas postcard, okay? This is for parents as well. We wanted to represent that no student is left behind with following this kind of methodology, because we try to let them work at their own rhythm. So they work through individual work, through pair work, group work, even class work, and the collaborative work, which is the basis of our methodology.
Well, how to do it? Here you can see the first three groups, the first three courses, the number of subjects that are involved and the pupils that are involved. It's important to say that not all of the teachers of the school are working with this methodology. That's impossible. We try to do with different teachers, and last year I remember somebody was of the teachers were sleeping in all the meetings, or some of the teachers that involved in the project didn't say a word in the whole year. So it has to be voluntary. I don't know in other countries, but in Spain, in a public school, it's impossible. But it's important also to remark that this year, the third year, we count more than 50% of the teachers at the secondary education working happily, sharing knowledge with open doors, and that's amazing. The first two courses, we work extensively through languages and social sciences, and they work, for instance, as you see before, portrait. We study through self-biographies. The second term, they know the school. They make blueprints, they make maps, they film and photograph everything. And at the third term, they study the neighborhood. So they know where they are. They know that the school is their own, and they explain that through every paper and through every presentation they do. In the third course, we are studying through maths, sciences, technology, and visual arts, which is at every course. And we are studying right now the crystals and polygons and everything related to structures.
Okay, well, the main point of our talk was to show how we organize in a secondary and high school, because in Spain, the structure of timetables and schedules is very rigid in secondary education. That means that the teachers have like 3 or 4 hours a week with the group. So just like dividing these hours and trying to work together was a challenge for us. So this is an example of how we do it this year. Okay, it has changed thanks to the teachers' demands from one year to the next. So the schedule for students is based on 2 days. Okay, the third of ESO students on Tuesday and Wednesday. In this block of hours, they work the project part, okay? It's only one part of the curriculum of each subject. And for first and second of ESO, secondary education, it's Thursday after the break. So they know that in these hours, they are doing project. No books, they forget about exams, the books, and they, indeed, they say that they come more relaxed to class when we do the project. For teachers, we've got a weekly meeting, okay? 1 week is for coordinators. There's one coordinator for each level, first, second, third of ESO. And then the next week, each coordinator meets with the team of teachers. It was not easy because for teachers that we normally try to have our good timetable. In this case, it's the other way around because the students' schedule comes first and the pedagogical objectives come first. And then the teachers try to, well, we've got like very long timetables because, for example, if I teach in the second of ESO project, that means that during the third of ESO project, I cannot teach English because I am not in the third of ESO project. So it is like a puzzle for the head of studies who has to elaborate the teachers' schedules, okay? And during this timetable as well, we do at the end of each term a kind of assessment. We assess every day and every activity we do, but we also do, that Paco will tell you later, oral expositions that are also framed during this timetable.
Yes, we have oral exposition at the end of every term, and they do it together. They collect the pictures they are done, and they have to show the rest of the class what they really learn. It's amazing because there are sometimes the people say, we didn't learn anything at all, but they show everything that has been accomplished in the term, and is also amazing. They don't know that they are learning, they don't care about marks, but they are doing the thing. They are collaborating, they are creating documents, and it's a thing that maybe doesn't end in 1 year because we are using that material for the next course in order not to start from scratch every year. We also do open exhibitions using every single space of the school, from the class to the corridors to the entrance. And as we install everything together, nobody damages it. It's also amazing because I didn't saw that in any other school. I think that our pupils would find outrageous if somebody could stain anything. Probably starting from scratch with a few people in the building, make it easier because that culture is established and they know that it's like that. Maybe if we want to work with that kind of culture in a school with 500 people, with 60 teachers, that would be impossible.
Okay. Well, now you may be wondering what are the results of all this methodology, okay? Well, after and this is the third year, we have noticed many aspects that have improved, not only with students, but also with teachers. We've seen that both students and teachers are more enthusiastic, but quite more enthusiastic. Paco said it before, now the 50% of the staff is involved in one or another way through this methodology. There has been an improvement of the autonomy and the cooperative work of students, as well the improvement of application and parent interest when we've got the open doors every year for future students. It's so crowded in the high school that we cannot even walk. People asking all the time, and people are very interested. For teachers, we've got more knowledge of other areas, of other curricular content that are not ours. I can tell you now about artists like Archimboldo, or I can tell you about the microscopic nummulites, which is a kind of small rocks, okay? I didn't know that. I'm an English teacher, but working with my colleagues has helped me to open my mind a bit more. So between teachers, it has also been very inspiring. And then we have noticed that there's been a really huge improvement in oral expression. Students are now the third year students are so used to speak in front of an audience, having teachers as a panel when they are presenting their works. We have been a step forward this year, and for the oral expositions, we let students being creative, like, don't use a PowerPoint, just invent a theater story. So we are now expecting what they are going to present, but we see that secondary students are more confident speaking in public than post-compulsory students. So that gives us a real clue about their improvement. Well,
that's all, folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. We know we were the last ones, but thanks.
Thank you very much, Paco and Anna. I think that I just want to stress one thing that you said. Timetable is very rigid, and I think that we make it very rigid, but you are a good example of that we can change it, and I think that it was a very, very good example. I don't know if there is a very specific question, because we are out of the schedule, but if there is any question, I think that it deserves some minutes. Yes, please.
I promise to be quick. Thank you very much for that. My question is preparation for the teachers. Did you do special things to make sure they were prepared for this different?
We are doing a magnet school formation for the teachers that are involved, and also for other teachers that want to know something about the project, even from the post-compulsory education. And it's very interesting, not just ICT or art, but other things about how, for instance, to change a class, to change the tables, to work in 2 or 3 separate spaces. It's something that has been very helpful.
Is any other question? I think that this was this question was really relevant, because how to engage teachers, how to train them. I mean, it's very important that teachers have specific training to feel that they can do it, and to feel more confident to carry out innovation.
The formation has to be focus on the things that the teacher thinks that have to be learned, not something designed from the outside. We are not pedagogists in the school. We are soldiers, the one that we are working in the trenches. So it's something interesting to ask the teachers what they really need. They really need. No, we need to know how to edit video, for instance, or things like that.
Sorry, I wanted to just say that we are with this formation, but the first year we didn't have any formation. So we started out of nothing. It was like some teachers who really believed in this way of working and who got on well each other. And, well, we said, we just try. Can it be worse than it is now? No. So let's try different strategies and different things. So one year after the other, and it has evolved a lot. I mean, now we've got this formation. We ask for the needs that we have in the real classroom. We don't think of theoretical words or terminology. It's like, okay, it's me who is with 30 students in the class. I want to work in this way. How can I do it? Give me tools. So that's the good point, I think.
Well, thank you. I think that we have a lot of food for thought, to leave the session. It has been very, very interesting and inspiring, the three presentations, and thank you very much.